Hey, you guys, Ken the Don here. Thanks for joining with me today. I am so excited and happy that you decided to come on. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on the live. Let me go ahead and just get myself one more situation, one more good time. There we go. All right. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming on. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone who has decided to come on. I am grateful that you decided to join today. Sorry, that was a little bit of a bumpy start. I don't want that. So let's just take the time to breathe. Take the time to take it in through our nose, out our mouth. Relax our backs, relax our lives, relax ourselves. In your mouth, in your nose, sorry. Out your mouth. All right, let's start. We all have creative power, whether we know it or not, whether we believe it or not, we all have creative power. You know, when you look at a situation, you should be able to see multiple ways or multiple outcomes for that situation. Before we go any further, I want to admonish you to really listen for insight today. To really listen for transformation. Don't listen for agreement. Don't listen to be liked. Don't listen to understand and have someone to say, "Oh yeah, I'm here with you." But I want you to hear those golden nuggets. When God said, "Let there be light," there was. When He created everything and He made the earth and He made the seas and told the stars how to stand and where to stand and told the moon and when the sun when to rise and when to fall. When He established all of those things, He did it with His voice and He did it with speaking it out. And that creative power formed from His words. Things were formed, worlds were formed. So for you, from your words, your world will be formed. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," if you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not this, I'm not that, that's not who I am," if you constantly tell yourself, "Oh, I can't do this," you always give yourself a reason why you can't, that has creative power. The universe, God, whatever you want to call Him. I'm going to say it all the time. I call Him Jesus. I call Him Jesus Christ. And God, the Lord of all. When you speak to Him and you consult Him, because you have to be grounded, you have to be rooted in something higher than you. How are you going to be able to understand life and understand what's before you if you don't ground yourself to something wiser? A lot of ourselves ground ourselves to people, to lifestyles, to addictions that we cope ourselves with. But we need to ground ourselves to something higher than our. Okay? Repeat after me. I am my Father's keeper. I am my Father's son. That's what you need to tell yourself. Oftentimes, we don't like supervision. We don't like being told what to do. We don't like being under authority. But that's where the true power is. Restraint. That's where the true power is. So having the restraint to not always speak negative over your life. Having the restraint to not always say, "Woe is me," but taking a moment to pause and really think, what am I willing to do right now? Too often, we freak out, and too often we say what we're not willing to do. But what are you willing to do? Resistance creates persistence. The more persistent you are, the more resistant it's going to be. And the more resistant it is, the more persistent you need to be for that breakthrough. It seems to be that right when we're about to get something, all chaos breaks out. And if we notice the pattern, I don't know about you, but I journal. Like I told you before, write it down and make it plain. So I journal. And I've noticed that there's patterns that right before I get to my breakthrough, right before I get to where things are about to be just heavenly and just Goshen for me, something starts to bubble up either in my family, in my marriage, in my relationship between me and my son, whatever it is. We need to know the patterns. We need to track the patterns so that we don't taint our creative power. Because we believe so much in creating negative things for ourselves. We believe so much in not believing ourselves and telling ourselves what we can't do. But we don't believe enough into telling ourselves what we can do. And you need to tell yourself what you can do, what you're going to do, what you can get done this week. Write it down, make it plain. Too often, we talk ourselves out. Ain't nobody mad but the devil. Out of nowhere, I cut off the whole screen. How the heck I do that? And I ain't even touching it. You have creative power. We have creative power. What you speak can come to life, whether it's negative or it's good. Choose to speak the good today. Choose to speak the positive today. Choose not to worry, but instead come up with a plan. Not beat yourself up, but give yourself grace. How many of us have given ourselves grace for the things that we haven't accomplished? Or do we tell ourselves what our parents told us? Or do we tell ourselves what others have told us? You ain't nothing. You ain't never going to be nothing. You ain't going to do it. Or do you do it? Recognize the patterns, you guys. You have creative power. You have power to create. You have power to establish. You have power to make. You have power to rule and domain. No, you're not being cocky. If you're a plumber and someone calls you, are you going to say, well, yeah, I only do, plumbing sometimes, let's not make a big deal of it. Or are you going to own it and say, yes, I'm a plumber. Let me help you and let me fix what you need to be fixed. Own what you got. Own it. And use that creative power to build. Use that creative power to speak things that are not as though they were. I write around my room, I write around my house, different words: acceptance, atonement, love, encouragement. I write these things around the house so that when I walk around, they remind me of the creative power I have, so that when I speak things, that they're coming from a place grounded. They're coming from a place of gratitude. They're coming from a place clear-headed and sober, that I can make a conscious decision to move forward and to walk completely in it all. So for you that is waiting to create that book, look at the trees that you have in your life. From a tree, we have chairs, we have desks, we have tables, we have homes, we have chandeliers, we have shingles. We have so many things from a tree. What can you create from what you have already? I'm going to stick on them. Let's just hold on. Let's just pause into the book realm right now. What content have you put out that you can create an ebook off of? You know how many books that are 40 pages? You know how many books that are only 10 chapters? You know how many books are like this thick? And you're stressing because you don't have a book and it's not as big as you want? Do you really want an encyclopedia for someone to read and to not really pay attention to? Or do you want something that someone can read and get an impact, get that insight, get that transformation that they're listening for? We have creative power. I challenge you this week to pray more. Whatever your higher power is, whatever your source is, like I said, for me, it's Jesus Christ. He is the Lord of Lords. There is no other name above his name. Whatever else you choose to believe in, that's between you and that, and you and you. But I choose to stand in him. And I pray every day, and I believe, and I have gratitude, and I am thankful. Prayer doesn't always have to be, oh God, I thank you, and you're great. It could be, God, look, I don't know what's going on today. I don't know what's going on in myself. I don't know what's going on around right now. But I really need you, and I acknowledge that you are there. I acknowledge that you are here helping me, and I can't do it alone. Because that's the thing. We can't do it alone. There's too many lone wolves out there. There's too many people out there who don't have community. There's too many people out there who don't have a heart of sonship. They have an orphan heart. And they go from home to home and abandonment to abandonment and problem to problem. And nothing gets fixed because they don't know how to sit still and just get healed. Learn how to be a son to whomever. If you want to get in business, get around business owners. Get around people who are actually doing it. Not people who are talking it, but people who are walking it. Get around those people. If you want to be around preachers, if you want to be a preacher, put yourself under a preacher that you can trust and that has integrity and that can fulfill and see. Are they your Elijah? Too often we get under people who aren't for us. And then we overcommit or we undercommit and we oversell. We oversell. Oh, yeah, I could do this, I could do that. And then when it's time for it, you undercommit. I know there's something y'all don't want to hear. Creative power. You have creative power. You have the power to make things that are not as though they are. Think about that. Every invention, everything that we have right now, from water bottles to phones, this was an idea. Steve Jobs had a concept from watching Star Trek. They walked around with their little pads that were saran wrap and cardboard. And he walked around and saw that and was like, I want to make that manifest into life. Oh, I'm out of Pierre. I want to make that manifest. You have creative power. Start that business today. If you want to get into business, we have funnels. We have access. I just stepped into something very big now, you guys. So I'm excited. We're going to be having more postings in the private Facebook Live about it. Forex, traveling, learning about Forex, learning the depths about it, learning about investing in the stocks and the Bitcoin. I'm about to get really deep into it, you guys. My birthday is this weekend, but after this weekend, I'm going all in to learn and to get all that I can. And we are going to commit to traveling, you guys. I know Corona's going on, so I'm going to be wise, and I'm not going to travel if there is things happening. But when things open up to 80%, back to 100%, I will be gone. That's the joy of working at home. I've been working at home now for 3 years, and now for the past, 4 or 5 years, it's been, 4 or 5 months, it's been consistent enough that I don't have to go to a 9 to 5. I don't have to check into a boss. I don't have to say, yes, sir, no, sir, this is what I did, this is what I'm going to do. I say it to myself because I still hold myself accountable, and I have other people in my life that hold me accountable. However, the luxury of having a home-based business, I could talk to you right now, get off of this, work a little bit on my business, take a nap if I want to, wake back up, go out, make some extra money, because I like playing the long game. So, I'm in life insurance. We do the Forex, which is a now thing too, but it's still a long game in a sense, because if you're getting in Forex for everyday money, you still need to break it down to realize, okay, what is your everyday money? How much do you need every day? Okay. So for me, I have a goal. $8,000 a month means that you are a thousandaire by the end of the year. So if I do 16 a month with my Amazon affiliates, Amazon FBA, Forex, my coaching, I do this, I coach, I talk to people. With all of those, 16,000, I break it down. You got to break it down. If you want to go, you need to break it down to where you can think it's feasible. 16,000 is feasible for me. With all the businesses I have, 15 is already in my credit cards. So 16,000 a month is $1 million a year. Break it even down. What's 16,000 every 4 weeks? What's 16,000 a day? That gives you your pattern. That sets you up. Too many of us are freaking out, are stressing, saying we don't know what to do. Break it down. Stop thinking of it as this big thing and begin to break it down. Chop legs. As you chop the legs, you'll be able to conquer. You divide and you conquer. That's a principle from ancient times. That's a principle from Roman times. That's a principle that people have used forever. Divide and conquer. Thanks for joining on, you guys. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, Young Money Muggles YouTube page. We're going to be bringing on more guests. I am so excited for what we have to come, you guys. There's a lot of things that are happening. We are now at the moment where we are able to hire. We're now at the moment where we're able to go out and produce. We're now at the moment where we're able to have all that I've envisioned. So I'm excited. Subscribe to Young Money Muggles. Get updates, get videos. If you aren't a part of the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, because this is posted simultaneously on YouTube. So if you aren't a part of our Facebook group, search on Facebook, Young Money Muggles, and you'll see our private Facebook group. You can join. I know it says $10, but you can join for free right now until the end of the year. I'm opening it up. So this is us saying to you now, stay connected. Text YMM to 74121. You'll get updates on our websites. I mean, not our websites, our webinars, our events, and things that we have going on. I have an event that I'm doing tomorrow for our Wednesday program, which is going to be all about Amazon. So for our Wednesday power call, we are going to talk about all things Amazon. Prayerfully, I can get this Grandpa Ken shadow shaken off of me, and I can understand a little bit about screen sharing. And I can do a presentation for you guys about how you can start your Amazon affiliate, Amazon FBA, and start making money, okay? Black Friday is coming up very fastly, and I want you guys to make some money. I want you guys to prosper and be out there crushing it, okay? We are Young Money Muggles, and at all costs, we are going to make money. But we're going to do it with integrity, we're going to do it with patience, and we're going to do it with professionalism. All right, you guys? 74121. YMM to 74121.